Hello, my name is Lee Fairbanks, and this presentation was created by myself and Jim Sweetman. It was originally presented to the City of Hamilton General Issues Committee on February 19th, 2020. After the presentation, Council passed a motion asking us to present this information directly to the task force. We believe the best forum for this presentation is by video, since we are not going to be there in person as we were for Council. Let me begin by saying that neither Jim nor myself have any financial interest in the outcome of the task force and its recommendations. We have no investments in any transit or transportation companies, nor do we have any relatives who work in any of these industries. We present this information as two engaged citizens who are interested in the best use of our taxpayer dollars and believe that we may have a perspective that could offer guidance to the task force. We would like to start our presentation by reminding the task force of the sheer immensity of this project. $1 billion could well be the largest single investment in the 150-year history of Hamilton. To put that in perspective, it is approximately equal to the value of an entire year's building permits for the whole city. The original intention of the money was to fund a single significant project that would have a major impact on life in Hamilton. We would ask the task force to make their recommendation of equal significance and find a single project rather than dispersing the funds in a myriad of smaller opportunities. With that in mind, we would suggest that this project meet the following goals. First, it should be a specific Made in Hamilton solution that takes into account the uniqueness of our city. Hamilton has essentially four different, well-defined constituencies. These would be the lower city, the mountain, the suburbs, and the rural areas. Since we are talking about transit, we will focus on the first three of these. Our second goal would be to increase transit ridership. This ties into our third goal, which is to reduce greenhouse gases. Our fourth and fifth goals are to provide health benefits and to maximize taxpayer benefits, meaning to impact as many people as possible with this billion-dollar investment. 6, we would like to create a project that supports existing and future residential, commercial, and industrial growth across the city. And number 7, we believe a project of this size should also be part of city building and improve the city's image on a national and international level. Our proposal has 3 parts. The first part is to replace all existing HSR buses with electric buses. Secondly, to expand full HSR service to all urban areas of Hamilton. And thirdly, to implement innovations to make HSR the best transit system in Canada. We believe all 3 of these goals can be met within the budget of $1 billion. We understand that the task force has already received a very detailed presentation from the BYD Bus Company on the costs and technical specifications for replacing the existing HSR fleet with electric buses. Rather than duplicating their information, we refer you to their presentation for this part of our proposal. The second part of our proposal is to expand full HSR service to all urban areas. As you are no doubt aware, the majority of residential development in Hamilton in the last few years has been in the outlying suburbs such as Waterdown and Binbrook. These communities were allowed to grow without any public transit. Currently, this is still the case. In addition to residential development, much of Hamilton's recent and future industrial growth is taking place near the airport and in the Ancaster Industrial Plaza. Current HSR service in these areas is completely inadequate with far too long wait times and short hours of service. Most workers are forced to drive cars to get to work. We believe all residents of Hamilton deserve equal levels of transit. The third part of our proposal is to implement innovations to provide transit service in areas where traditional service would be inadequate to achieve increased ridership. HSR has already pioneered some of these innovations. In areas of Glanbrook and Stony Creek, for instance, riders can request a TransCab, a rideshare service in partnership with Blue Line Taxi Service. For an additional 50 cents, they can be driven from their home to the nearest HSR bus stop or back. The next evolution of convenient public transit, which might be possible in Binbrook, for instance, would allow residents to use a phone app to request personal pickup by bus to be taken to an HSR terminal which would connect to the main city buses. This service would utilize smaller buses or vans rather than those currently in the HSR system. This small vehicle service is currently available in many cities and rural areas around the world. One of the most important benefits of our three-part plan will be to dramatically reduce greenhouse gas emissions from transportation sources. The immediate benefit of replacing our buses with electric is obvious, but should be restated here. Currently, a full 33% of the greenhouse gases created on a daily basis by the Corporation of the City of Hamilton are tailpipe emissions from buses. HSR buses currently drive 16,700,000 kilometers per year. That is the equivalent of 23 trips to the moon and back. This is not only a significant reduction, but would also show great leadership from our municipality and help people to become more comfortable with the idea that electric vehicles are the best choice for the future. By expanding HSR service and implementing innovations to make transit more convenient, we will see even greater reductions in greenhouse gases from reduced single-car use. As you know, climate emergency is one of the top concerns of Hamilton and Ontario taxpayers. Hamilton City Council unanimously passed a motion declaring a climate emergency and a motion confirming that all future city developments, such as this transit project, be passed through a climate lens to ensure maximum reduction of greenhouse gases. We believe our proposal is the best choice to achieve these goals. While there remains a small group of people who are not convinced of the dangers of climate change, we don't believe there is anyone who does not understand that air pollution is bad for a person's health. By eliminating a significant amount of greenhouse gas and the noise from internal combustion engines, we will guarantee improved health outcomes citywide. As you can see from these newspaper comments, air pollution is directly connected to disease and shorter lifespans. We believe that an investment of this size should, if possible, be allocated in such a way that it produces future savings while providing equal or superior benefits. As you know from the BYD bus presentation, studies suggest the City of Hamilton could save more than $10 million a year in operating and maintenance costs while providing the same level of service. Hamilton City Council has a long history of focusing on the city building benefits of large projects. Good transit is positive for everybody. Builders, business owners, and house buyers all want modern, convenient transit near where they live, work, and play. Real estate today is judged on location, location, location. Today's house for sale listings are now given scores based on the convenience of walking, taking transit, or riding a bike to local amenities such as shopping, parks, and recreation. By investing in expanded service across the city, Hamilton will continue to experience record growth as it has for the past 10 years. One of the selling features for LRT was that it would improve our city image by marking us as a modern city. However, many other cities across North America have LRT. With our proposal, Hamilton will stand alone as the first major city in North America with an all-electric transit system. Hamilton was the first major city in North America to get electricity, so it is perfectly in line with our history and heritage to be the first major city to have an all-electric transit system. We believe our plan will improve not just the city image, but also the province's image, and put Hamilton and Ontario ahead of the curve. Every major city in Canada is switching to electric buses. The pace of this conversion is limited by a lack of funding. With the $1 billion being offered by the province of Ontario, Hamilton can afford to do it now. Let's not miss this once-in-a-life opportunity to promote our city and our province across the world. It should be noted that a bus order of this size cannot be immediately filled by the existing bus manufacturers in Canada. It will require substantial investment on their part in building a new, larger facility to fulfill this order. We believe part of this negotiation process should include the location of an assembly plant in Hamilton. This would make us a leading center for the electric bus production in Canada for decades to come, and create hundreds of permanent jobs in an auto industry which has been decimated in Ontario in recent years. In a world looking for green industries, Hamilton would be the leader. This is a true city building benefit. In closing, we would like to summarize our benefits once again. Our three-part proposal would create significant greenhouse gas reductions. It would produce health benefits across the city from reduced air and noise pollution. It would provide operating savings for our existing system. It would support the growth of jobs and housing in all wards of the city, and it will create a huge image boost for the city and the province. We urge task force members to invest the $1 billion of taxpayer money in our transit system. Thank you for your time.